So, this is going to be a new series, and it's going to be called Dinosaur Battle. This is actually my first video doing it, so I hope you enjoy this video. And I would understand why you would dislike, but try to see my point of view of this. So, as we know, the T-Rex is a large carnivore. As you can see here. Yeah, so a lot of us think that this one dinosaur is the strongest dinosaur to ever live. But today, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. And yeah, and sure, it is one of the strongest dinosaurs, but it's not the strongest. Yes, and yes, it's a pretty scary dinosaur, actually. But I wouldn't say it was the strongest. For example, if I look up Jurassic World, which we have all seen, a lot of people have seen this, most of what I can find is all about the T-Rex. See, T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex. Okay, and T-Rex. And yes, there are a lot of velociraptors, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the T-Rex, and is it overpowered? I will prove to you today that it is. So, here is what is called a Carcharodontosaurus, if you don't already know. It's really, it's big, okay? It's pretty big. That's a toy. So this is a Carcharodontosaur around, and it's about 44 feet, and this is a T-Rex. Look at his little tiny arms compared to, I mean, there's some meat in that. That's not just a regular dinosaur arm. That's bigger than a T-Rex, and you could actually kind of use that for slashing. Its head isn't that bad, and it has, like, okay, the T-Rex does have a really strong bite force. But the Carcharodontosaur also has a pretty good bite force as well. Let's look at this picture. Okay, this is not a Carcharodontosaurus. This is a Carcharodontosaur. As you can see here, I mean, the picture's a bit blurry, but as you can see here, those claws could be used for slashing. Yeah, so the reason why we think that the T-Rex is the strongest dinosaur to ever live is because it's the most popular. I mean, arguably the most popular, but it is very popular. Mostly because of the Jurassic World. Yeah. So, and also, it's the only large carnivore in Jurassic World. Now, I know you might be thinking, hey, what about the Indominus Rex? Well, the Indominus Rex is a fake dinosaur created in a lab. So, that's not really a large carnivore. Also, Mapusaurus. If I were the leader and director of Jurassic World, I would add this thing in. 42-foot killer is how I would put it. I would say it's a little bit weaker than the Carcharodontosaur, but I would also say that it's stronger than the T-Rex. It also hunts in packs, as you can see here and here. It hunts down the largest dinosaur to ever exist. See that thing? That's called an Argentinosaurus. It's about 130 feet long at max. And yeah. Also, it's more than 50 tons. So, one crush by that thing, and you're squashed to pieces. And I reckon a T-Rex couldn't take that thing down. I mean, I don't care if it's not a carnivore. If it feels threatened, it will attack you. And trust me, You really don't want to mess with this thing. Okay? Really don't want to. This is an Argentinosaur, and in this video, I know, sorry, copyright, but in this video on YouTube, it shows a Mapusaur being crushed by an Argentinosaur. And I'd say the Mapusaur would have the same results as a T-Rex if it were to be crushed by an Argentinosaurus. And also, the Mapusaur is a bit longer, about 2 feet. And also, Mapusaur's claws are longer than that of the T-Rex. I mean, that's about the size of your arm, honestly. I will give that jaw is terrifying. Okay, you would not want to be in that jaw. And in my opinion, but I believe this would be factually correct, it is not the strongest dinosaur out there. Okay? Just because it's the only large carnivore in Jurassic World does not mean it's the strongest carnivore to ever live. But now you're thinking, okay, the T-Rex is super weak. No, do not think that. The T-Rex is actually one of the strongest dinosaurs there is. Don't get me wrong, it has a bite force of, probably about 1,500 newtons, maybe. Check me on that. But it has a serious bite force. I don't even think that's correct. Sorry for scamming you. But it definitely has a pretty scary bite force. But things like Mapusaurs, their arms will help them. And in fact, those legs compared to the T-Rex, I mean, that looks like a pretty fast leg to me. And also, 42 feet versus 40 feet. Now, bite force is probably the strongest component in a battle, but the arms is like your secondary weapon. And of course, your size is also a main component. But I'd say the bite force is one of the main components. In my opinion, okay, don't dislike my video just because I say this. But in my opinion, Mapusaur would defeat a T-Rex, and so would the Carcharodontosaur. And probably the Argentinosaur if the T-Rex were to be crushed by this massive beast. But yeah, and the Argentinosaur is pretty intimidating. I mean, look at that monster. Look, okay, he's fat, yes, he is fat. But he is also massive, and he can get up to more than 50 tons. And I would say, now this is definitely one of the strongest dinosaurs. T-Rex is one of the strongest dinosaurs, but it's not the strongest, okay? Even though it's popular, it's not the strongest. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and goodbye.